One of the things that I see very consistently that is a common thread between poor internal presentations is this feeling of winging it. I think sometimes people think just because you're presenting internally means you don't need to be as buttoned up or polished. And what that leads to is mismatched expectations, credibility loss, especially if you're a leader or a manager, and then also scaling failure overall, right? Where you're growing as a company and you're losing professionalism and in turn losing credibility. So, a couple of things that I recommend when I see this happen are designated reading time. I think that is very popular from Amazon's culture, but having designated reading time at the top of the hour or the top of the meeting, I find really helpful. People are often unprepared coming into meetings, and so this is how you can force knowledge transfer very early on in the meeting. That way, people are all reading the same thing, everyone has the same information at the top of the hour, and then you can go into kind of further presentation mode when it comes to the nuances of whatever it is that you're trying to explain. Also, setting a very clear agenda at the beginning of the hour of what we are covering in this presentation and why it's important. We talked about that North Star at the top of every presentation, and this is a great time to reiterate that. And the last piece is just because you're presenting to coworkers doesn't mean that this is any less professional. Just because, these are people that you work with, maybe you have a more casual relationship with them at work, it doesn't mean that the quality of the meeting should be diminished. And I always recommend practicing what it is that you want to talk about, making sure that you are emphasizing the key points. I think there's a statistic out there that says people don't retain information until it's said 6 or 7 times to them. And while I'm not saying say the same thing 6 or 7 times in a row, make sure you are reiterating the most important points so that when somebody walks away from that meeting, they can say, okay, here were the 3 things that I needed to walk away with to keep in mind as I go about the next steps of whatever project or problem I'm working on.